G'day and welcome to Plugged In Australia Quick Charge, the shorter version of the show for when you want the main EV news without the full deep dive. This is episode 50 for Thursday, the 7th of May 2026, and today's headlines are all about big electrified vehicles for Australia. We've got a new Geely 7-seat hybrid SUV coming in 2027, Freelander returning as a Chery and Land Rover-backed electrified off-road brand, MG preparing a large range extender SUV, JAC lining up a cheaper plug-in hybrid ute, and GWM pushing harder into plug-in and diesel plug-in hybrid 4x4s. Let's get into the main stories. Alright, first up, Geely is preparing a large 7-seat hybrid SUV for Australia in 2027. The model is expected to sit against family SUVs like the Toyota Kluger, the Hyundai Santa Fe and Kia Sorento. The vehicle shown locally was the Galaxy M9, although Geely has not fully locked in that exact model name just yet. What matters is the direction, a big 7-seat SUV with hybrid and plug-in hybrid powertrains, rather than a petrol-only family hauler. The Chinese market M9 gives us an idea of the possible hardware. It measures more than 5.2 metres long, rides on a 3030mm wheelbase, and in plug-in hybrid form can use a 41.46 kWh LFP battery. Claimed electric range is up to 230 kilometres on the CLTC cycle, with a total range of over 1,300 kilometres. Australian real-world results will be lower, obviously, but even with a decent haircut, that is a serious plug-in family SUV. Next, the Freelander name is making a comeback, but not as a normal Land Rover product. It is being revived through the Chery and Jaguar Land Rover joint venture in China, with Australia and New Zealand part of the right-hand drive plan. The Freelander 8 is expected to be an electrified off-road SUV using either full battery electric power or range extender EV technology. Reports point to 800-volt architecture, advanced battery tech, height-adjustable air suspension, electronic off-road systems, and a premium 6-seat interior. This could be a direct challenge to vehicles like the Denza B5, Toyota Prado, and Ford Everest. The hard truth, though, is that off-road buyers will want proof of reliability. You've got towing capacity, parts supply, and regional support as well. However, the concept makes sense for Australia. Electric drive where it works, petrol-backed range where charging is still thin. MG is also leaning into range extender EVs with the incoming IM8 large SUV. This model is expected in Australia in 2027 and uses a 1.5 litre petrol generator, a 66 kWh battery, and dual electric motors. MG is talking about up to 430 kilometres of electric-only range and up to 1,600 kilometres total range on the CLT cycle. Again, those are optimistic test cycle claims, but the format is interesting. A big family SUV that can do daily driving like an EV, but still handle long trips without relying entirely on the charging network. For Australian families not quite ready to go full battery electric, even though it's not that difficult, but anyway, this could be a very persuasive bridge. Now to Utes. JAC is preparing the Hunter plug-in hybrid ute, and it could become Australia's cheapest plug-in hybrid ute if the expected sub $50,000 price before on-road cost holds. It will undercut the BYD Shark 6, the GWM Cannon Alpha plug-in hybrid, and the Ford Ranger plug-in hybrid. The Hunter PHEV uses a 2-litre turbo petrol engine, a 31.2 kWh LFP battery, front and rear electric motors, and a dedicated hybrid transmission. Combined power is listed at 360 kilowatts, with overseas torque figures around 1,000 newton meters. It also targets a 3.5-tonne brake towing and 915 kilograms of payload. That payload number is useful but worth watching once accessories, passengers and tow ball downball weight is included. JAC is also planning a cab chassis version later in 2026, which could matter for tradies and fleets that need custom trays or bodies rather than just a lifestyle pickup tub. GWM is also developing diesel hybrid and diesel plug-in hybrid system for vehicles like utes and off-road SUVs. This is not full BEV territory, however, could be relevant for Australia's towing and regional markets. GWM is talking about fuel savings of around 15% in flatter driving and up to 30% in tougher conditions. If plug-in diesel hybrids do arrive, the big question will be whether owners can charge them regularly or just carry around extra complexity. On the safety front, ANCAP has handed 5-star results to the BYD Seal 6, the MG4 Urban, the Tesla Model Y L and Skoda Octavia under the 2023 to 2025 criteria. The BYD Seal 6 scored strongly, including 92% for adult occupant protection and 90% for child occupant protection. The MG4 Urban also achieved 5 stars, which is important for affordable EV buyers. The Tesla Model Y L scored 5 stars too, with a very strong safety assist result, although ANCAP noted some child restraint installation difficulties in the larger 3-row version. Cadillac is making the Lyriq more competitive with $95,000 driveway offer until 30 June 2026. That puts it below the fuel-efficient luxury car tax threshold and make it more relevant for eligible FBT exempt arrangements. The deal includes warranty, service and charging-related incentives. However, Cadillac still has the challenge of building trust and dealer coverage in Australia. Zeekr is preparing to reboot its FR performance sub-brand, aiming at the same sort of halo role as BMW M or AMG to Mercedes. The Zeekr 001 FR shows the direction with around 900 kilowatts, 4 motors, 800-volt architecture and hypercar-level acceleration. That may not be a volume seller, but it helps Zeekr move the new Chinese EV brand to serious premium performance player. BMW is also moving toward electric performance with the upcoming electric M3. BMW M has indicated it should sit in a similar pricing ballpark to the petrol M3, rather than being priced wildly above it. The electric version is expected to use newer class of technology and a quad-motor layout with more than 1,000 horsepower. The challenge is not straight-line speed. EVs already do that. The challenge is making it feel like a real M car. Leapmotor is learning from the Australian market too. The brand says overseas models will come with physical keys, meaning the key card-only approach is effectively dead in the water outside of China. That is a small change, but a smart one. Australian buyers do not want basic usability to become a gimmick. And finally, the Avatr 07 has been spotted testing in Melbourne. Avatr is backed by Chang'an, CATL and Huawei technology. The 07 is a premium SUV offered overseas with both EV and range extender powertrains. It has 800-volt EV hardware, big screens, advanced driver assist tech, and serious premium positioning. It is not confirmed yet for Australia, but right-hand drive production already exists, so this is definitely one to watch. And that wraps up Quick Charge for episode 50. The full episode goes deeper into every model, every spec, and the Australian relevance behind each story. So if any of the stories here piqued your interest, make sure you check out the full version. Thanks very much for listening as always, and until the next time, stay plugged in and stay charged. Ci vediamo.